morning, ladies. Okay, welcome to the session. So we're just waiting for a few more minutes for other ladies to join us, and then we'll go straight into the session. So, Laura, do you want to host today? Over to you.
Absolutely lovely. Let me put my glasses on so I can see you all beautifully. Good morning, ladies. Thank you for joining. I know it's a tough one being quite so close to Christmas. Everyone's kind of got lots of end of year bits to be doing. So thank you for being here with us this morning. Laura, you know me well. I am a master of resilience and a Gallup strengths coach, and I am helping people find where they're perhaps overwhelmed or undersatisfied with what's going on in their world and life, feeling frustrated, needing a change for the new year, or wondering where they're going next. And I help people and organizations find a great way forward. So that's what I do. I'm writing my book at the moment on resilience, and I'm nearly there. I'm looking forward to releasing it in the new year. Zen, can I pass over to you to introduce?
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Zen Khan. I'm the managing partner of Zen Professional Development. And I work with women, I work with adults to support them and upskill them. Today, you'll be learning a bit more about career progression and a little bit more about what I do in terms of planning for a successful career and helping others obtain qualifications and training to help them build their skills. So over to you guys now.
So Mandy, would you like to start? And then we'll do Hosseina and then Gislan and then Joy, if Joyce is there joining us as well. So Mandy, if you'd like to start quickly.
Good morning, everybody. And I'm really happy to be here and see a few of us here. Understandably, people are making plans for Christmas. Anyway, I am Mandy from Pixel Rose. Sorry, my cat's tail is in the air. From Pixel Roses, and we are makeup and photographers. We specialize in some creative photography, especially now coming up for Christmas, but we also do corporate shoots. And at the moment, we are doing some product shooting for yoga bags and yoga mats. So we have quite a wide range of topics that we cover in our photography. And that's it. So thank you, everybody.
No, thank you for that. Hosseina. And then Gislan.
Yeah, I'm Hosseina. I'm Vice Principal from Beacon House Al Khalij. Actually, we are working on providing some winter break clubs opportunities to the students, like robotics and all this. So there are some competitions coming up. So we will be calling students in groups to work towards these competitions during this break. And also I'm working towards providing some career opportunities to my staff as well as to my own self. I'm looking forward to doing my doctorate. That's all. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Gislan?
Sorry, I had my kids around me. I'm sorry not to put my video on. I'm all over the place, as I said. So my name is Rizlan, and I'm the owner of Table and Beyond. And we are basically a hotel supplier. We help hospitality clients to source and select their operating items. Additionally, I have two little kids. I don't know why they really like to be around me when I'm in Zoom. So 6 and 4. Happy to be here around you ladies and for our last connect. Thank you.
Wonderful. So glad and delighted we've got an extra little one joining us as well. Joyce, nice to see you this morning. You're on silent, lovey.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jocelyn Neller, and I am so happy to be here today. Thank you for waiting on me. I appreciate that. I have a platform for women going through menopause or premenopause or postmenopause, and just sharing my experience and what I went through. And also I work as an educator with Learning A to Z. So happy day. Happy Sunday.
Well, thank you, ladies. Really appreciate your time today and joining us in at such a, very close to the end of year. Great to see you. Zen is going to be leading our session today, so I'm going to hand over to Zen for the time being. Also, girls, just names and emails of people who could benefit from joining. I have somebody actually, Zen, I'm going to speak with you about that afterwards. Make sure she's added to our list of people. So if you've got any names of people you can think of, do make a note and do remind the girls, because obviously we all want to see women thrive. Zen and I are passionate about seeing women thrive in business. So if you have anybody you can think of who might benefit from this, do let us know.
Okay, wonderful. I'm just going to stop my share. I've got a special guest that I've invited today. It's Estelle. So Estelle is currently working with me as an intern, and she's really happy to be here today. So I'll let her introduce herself. Estelle, over to you.
You're on mute, darling.
Hi, my name is Estelle. Nice to meet you. I'm working as an intern here at ZEN PD, and I'm very grateful to be working here as well as start my career journey in this company. So yeah, nice to meet you guys.
Glad that you could join us this morning. How lovely to see you.
Welcome. Thank you, Estelle. And we've also got Haifa that's joined us today.
Hello, hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Haifa. You can turn the camera off now, Estelle.
Are you there?
Yes.
Haifa?
I don't think I can turn the camera on. I'm in Abu Dhabi in a hotel.
No problem. Feel free to introduce
Sorry,
yourself.
but I didn't want to miss the session.
Lovely. Do you want to introduce yourself, Haifa?
Okay,
What do you do?
sorry. Okay, my name is Haifa Addas. I'm the founder of Instagram Beauty Portal that connects beauty professional with customers for home service. I've been in Dubai for 17 years. It's home. And I love this group, and it's adding a lot of value to my business and as a woman entrepreneur. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you. And we've also got Patricia, who's just joined us. Hi, Patricia.
Good timing. Come and introduce yourself. Still connecting?
Ladies, I'm so sorry. I'm on the phone, but hi, everyone. I'll connect it. I'm just listening in. So sorry.
That's fine. Well, it's lovely that you can join us in part. Appreciated. So, ladies, let's get started. Zen's got a lot of lovely things to talk about today, so I'm looking forward to this session.
Great. Thank you, Laura. So today we're going to be talking about your career, your future plans, and how do you actually plan for career progression, and how do you achieve the life you dream of by planning ahead for your career. Okay. I would really appreciate if you could tag us as hashtag Working Women Push Boundaries, and just check in on your social media to say that you've joined the session today. That would be great. Okay, just some housekeeping there. I won't go through everything. The video will be shared with our community. So if there's any point that we discuss anything personal and you don't want that included, let us know and we will remove that from the video. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is speak to you about why you should plan ahead. Okay. We know this global pandemic has thrown the world into confused disruption. But what impact has this had on your future career plans, your business goals, your dreams, your aspirations, what you want to achieve? As a woman in the workplace, you might be in a job, you might be running your own business, but what you need to think about is, do you have a plan? Have you thought about where you want to be in 5 years' time? We always hear, the younger generation always hears, well, the jobs that were around now, like such as mobile app developers, they weren't around 5 years ago. But what is it that you want to achieve in the next 5 years? Do you know globally men are more likely to start new ventures than women? Because evidence suggests that women have a higher level of negativity Okay, they're not as, you know, they're not as happy to take risk, and this limits their engagement in when they're actually an entrepreneur. But what does this mean for you? I want you to take a few minutes to put into the chat, what does your career mean for you? What does your career give you? What satisfaction do you get from your career? Where do you want to be in your career? So just please pop that into the chat. So I'll wait for your messages to pop up. So Joyce has put, I feel like I'm in transition currently. Gizlan's career is her dream. Laura loves to inspire others to achieve extraordinary things. For me, okay, career, so Estelle says career gives a sense of purpose and it gives financial independence and helps others. So for me, my career has been about financial independence. It's been about me building something and creating something from nothing and giving myself an opportunity, the opportunities that I didn't have growing up. So it also means that I can inspire my children. It means I can inspire my community. It means that I can help other women to start thinking about where they want to be and what they can achieve. Because often what happens is, as women, we're held back. It might be guilt. It might be that we have children. It might be that we feel that we don't have the time. But these are often internal barriers that we have to deal with. Okay. My career, my understanding of career was that it's linked to a particular job or a role. But a career actually has two definitions. And the word career is often used as a professional occupation, trade, or vocation. This could be what you do for a living. It could also be something that requires extensive training. So something that you need a degree for, or that you have a high school diploma for and that you're willing to learn. A career could mean that you're a doctor. It could mean that you're a lawyer. And I've always associated a career with a particular job. But the career has another definition as well. And this is the progress and the actions that you have taken throughout your working life, especially for some things that relate to your work or your actual qualifications or the skills that you're building. And it's things that you have earned over a period of time or that you have accomplished. Okay. And career is everything related to your career development. These could be courses that you've taken. These could be networking events that you've attended. This could be business development projects that you've undertaken or that you've actually planned out and that you have actually implemented. Okay, this could be a variety of different paths, and this includes your jobs, and this includes you as a business owner. Do you know more women than men are pursuing higher education in the UK? And this makes me really happy, because as I grew up, I didn't have that encouragement, and I didn't have those opportunities that possibly women of today or young girls of today have. And it saddens me when I often hear that even now in schools, girls are aspiring, to become housewives, or they think, well, I'm going to get married and have children, because there's so much more that we can achieve. And we can be a housewife, we can be a mother, but we can also be a career woman. We can also have everything as long as we manage our time effectively and we plan ahead. Okay. And in 2018, 2019, over half of students enrolled in education were actually women. And it's great to see the UAE actually promoting diversity and equality and women in the workplace. There's so many local Emirati women who have achieved so much in the last few years. We've got women that are pilots. We've got women that are doctors, and they're actually leading innovation in terms of technology. And then we have women who are entrepreneurs, and they are growing, they are growing something from nothing, and actually aspiring generations, because they are building something that will change generations. Originally, when I set up Education First Recruitment, it was actually to get women back into the workplace. And one of the things that I wanted to do was give women an opportunity to work from home, because now with COVID, a lot has changed. But 5 years ago, working from home was actually frowned upon. Now it's given us a lot of flexibility. It's more accepted. I know during COVID, when people were calling me and my kids were screaming in the background, I wasn't apologetic. I was, saying, excuse my children, they're learning from home. And before that, prior to COVID-19, if you were at home and your kids were screaming in the background, you were not taken seriously. Or your career was often perceived as something that wasn't as important as your home life. But the reality of it is, we can have it all. I want you to pop into the chat, what stage of your career do you feel that you are at? Where do you feel that you're at in terms of your career? Let's see what we have. So we've got Husseina says, I want to keep myself always updated with the current changes. I also want to study further. Learning never stops. Career gives us confidence, independence, and can provide opportunities for others too. Gizlan says, same to shine, time to shine. An uphill climb since changing career. Okay. So we are all at different stages of our career. We've often discussed that women are natural nurturers and they need to put everyone else before their own needs. And often our careers are on hold or take a backseat while we give our time and attention to our families. And this could be we stop to have a baby, or we stop to look after another family member, or we move from another country and our partner's job role, it actually takes precedent over ours. And where we're actually putting ourselves and our life on hold because we're giving our attention to our families and we're not planning for our career ahead of time. And despite the success of many females, the fact remains that women are still less likely than men to achieve their dream jobs or to scale their companies and to reach their full potential, because there is still a gender disparity with women. So what is holding you back? I want you to speak now, ladies. What is it that you feel that is holding you back or has previously held you back?
Anyone like to start? Let's just unmute for a minute, girls. Mandy?
I think initially, for me, it's been all about confidence and being able to step out of my comfort zone to speak to people for a start, but also to try and show people that I'm not just a dumb blonde, excuse the expression, who just sits in the corner and keeps quiet and doesn't know anything. I was speaking to a colleague and friend during the week, and she was saying, well, just give me a little bit of background about where you've come from to where you are today. And when I'd listed the things that I had done over the years, she was actually blown away. And she says, I never knew any of this about you. And that's the thing, is that women have so many levels. We can do so many different things. And yes, we might be concentrating now on this current career that we have, or this path that we have chosen for ourselves. But we've also got a background that people are unaware of sometimes. So it's actually stepping out of our comfort zones and being able to expose ourselves, if you wish, to other people and say, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. I'm doing the best that I can with what I have, the abilities that I have.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Mandy.
Ghislaine, I think, did you want to say something? No? Sorry, I thought perhaps your hand was up. I think one thing that I found is that, what, having reached a fairly mature age in terms of starting career and moving through life. I mean, I have done so many amazing things. I've had very powerful positions and done a lot of stuff. But I think, you know, what's lovely is that we can always keep reinventing ourselves. We can always find something new to do. You can't just have done that now, I'm over. There are so many other options now in front of us. And I think the thing is to sometimes be able to embrace that and to say, what do I want? Where do I want to be? And I think at different times in our lives, I don't know about you ladies, but I think we've probably wanted different things out of our careers. We've been looking for perhaps to, you know, obviously we all want financial freedom if we can, but I think sometimes it's about a status, achieving a power, having some kind of significance, you know, proving to yourself that I can do, that my learning and all these things could do things. And then you know, I find as one becomes a little more mature in years, that I think we start thinking a lot more about how we can give back, what we need to do to help others more. And it becomes, I find that for me, it's less about just about me, it's about what I can do to help others get to where they want to be. What does anyone else think, have noticed that for themselves?
I think Gislan's raised her hand. Gislan?
Yes, actually I want to say, I mean, for me it was two major points. Number one is the clarity about my goal. So really to have something that is inspiring me and motivating me to fight out there. So that was something that was not really clear. I was like a bit, it was a bit blurred. And it took me a lot of exercise to really finalize that point, which is my, let's say my dream, my ultimate dream. And then of course to work on the self-image, because I believe whatever we think of ourselves has a lot to do with our actions and our results. So here is to really, to rework on the inner self, let's say, so things are aligned with what we want to achieve, basically.
Yeah, interesting. Thank you, Gislan.
Welcome.
And we talk about dreams and we talk about goals often, but what is it that you can do to plan ahead? Okay. You must have a career plan. We always, you know, we're always told that we need to write our vision down and where do we want to go. But what about our career and planning ahead and directing our career where we want it to go? Okay. Do you know the job skills and knowledge that you might need for the career that you dream of? Do you know how to get them? Do you know how to secure your dream job or your dream business? Imagine if life was perfect and you had everything that your heart desired and you didn't have any financial worry, you didn't have any financial strain, what would your career look like? I want you to write it down. I want you to write it down for yourself. So if life was perfect and you had everything, what would your career look like? What would you be doing? Interestingly enough, somebody asked me yesterday, and I've been asked this before, if you weren't doing what you do, what job would you be doing? What business would you have? What would be your ideal scenario? And it's something that I'd never thought of because I'm always in the moment, enjoying what I do. I know what I'm good at. I know what my strengths are. But if I wasn't doing this, then what would I do? And I feel I'm quite flexible. I'm quite adaptable. I can change to the situation, whatever I put my mind and my, you know, and my knowledge and my hands to. I feel that I can succeed in that. But I've never really thought of having a particular job, or, you know, if I was a doctor, I'd be doing this, or if I was, I don't know, a teacher, I'd be doing this. I've never thought of a particular job or a particular career that I would, you know, feel that that this is my ideal. But I've always thought maybe counseling or something like that. I'd be quite good at that, where I'm meeting people and I'm able to help others as well. I'm just going to have a quick look in the chat, see what we've got. So Laura says she'd be doing what she does now. Gislan, I would be having a big team under, and I would have different companies and branches. And Haifa's put the same field. I would have been in the same field, but being a multiple degree specialist, I would have also been into artificial intelligence. So Hosseina here is moving with the times, which is great. And yeah, or things like
Like,
artificial
sorry, may
intelligence.
I say on that, Zen, I love the fact here that everybody who is writing on here, even though they would say I'd like to add to this a bit into what I'm doing, that everyone here is very confident that they've chosen the right field and the right sort of purpose for themselves, which I think is amazing, because so many people I work with get stuck and they don't know what they're doing. They've moved into a professional being before they are actually a person understanding who they are and what they want. So I love this, that all the girls here feel very confident in their choices.
Wonderful. Yes, so something that I want you to think about is, how do you plan for your career progression? We know that we have dreams, we have aspirations, and we want to work towards them. Today, I want you to write down, what are your interests, what are your preferences, what are your strengths, and what are your weaknesses, and what roles fit in within your interests and your abilities. So if you have a pen and paper to hand, write it down. If you have a phone, put it onto your notes. And it's something that I want you to reflect back upon. And if you want to share it in the chat box, feel free to share it. Excuse me. And then I want you to start thinking about, what are your career options and which roles would align with your strengths. So if you have your own business and your plan is to have a team and several branches, and having maybe a franchise or growing internationally, what skills would you need to be able to run that effectively, or be able to grow your company so it gets to that stage? If you're in a particular role and your job has a certain direction that you want it to take, what do you need to do? What skills do you need? What qualifications do you need? It might be that you need to be an effective communicator. It might be that you need to know how to manage your teams effectively. It might be that you need to learn new time management skills. But I want you to note down what roles would fit in within your interests and abilities, and then what skills you would need to get there. Laura, I know you want to, what you're doing is working towards being a keynote speaker. What skills do you think that you need to improve on, or which skills do you need to acquire to get to where you need to be?
Well, I think it's a bit more than that, actually, because the first thing I need to say, based on what you're saying, Zen, because, as somebody who is strengths focused, I think what's very, very important is I've been working with a lot of clients, if I may just say, who are saying, I've got to learn more, I've got to do more skills. And what they haven't recognized, which is what you've just touched on, is that people are generalizing what they need to do. They haven't thought about where their key strengths are, and actually saying, if this is what I want to be known for, who can complement what I need, or what learning complements what I have now, and leveraging that rather than just throwing it out there and saying, I need to be this, and not really thinking of where it's going. So I think that's a really great point. I love that. For me, I have done speaking for years. I'm writing a book, I train, I coach. What I want to do, there's two things. One, I actually have studied positive psychology anyway. I want to actually do some more on that. And there's a couple of other things I want to add into what I'm doing now to bolster what I do. For me, it's been more about building a business, because I am very confident in my ability, but I was corporate for 30 years. So starting out on my own, I've got to be able to do things from a different perspective. So I am learning some of the other background skills to kind of get me out there. So I think that's probably the key direction for me. But as to what I do, I'm always learning. I don't think you can ever stop building to become a master in the area you want to be. Yeah. So I think that may answer a bit, does it?
Yeah. And we often hear about lifelong learning, and it's not a buzzword. It is a buzzword. It's what people are using at the moment. But lifelong learning is the skills that we acquire every single day. It's what we're adding to our toolbox to build. And these tools we can pull out at any stage of our life. But I think the first place to start would be to set smart goals. So SMART goals, goals that are specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, relevant, and they're time bound for you to actually achieve where you want to go with your career. And let yourself dream. Successful people actually dream all the time. And I know me and Gizlan are always talking about our dreams and where we want to be. And successful people, when they dream, they call it visioning, and it helps them set their goals. And you can also work towards living your dream if you set goals that you're working towards and that your vision is actually driving. Okay, so I've got some things in the chat. Let me have a look. We've got oh, Mandy's put yes. We've got learning is key from Joyce, and we're never too old to learn. And this is it. Somebody said to me recently, well, you know, I said, what training do you feel that you need? And she said, oh, no, I'm really good at my job. I don't need any more training. And that raised alarm bells for me, because for me, you always need to learn. You always need to improve. If you don't set yourself those goals, or you don't feel that you need to improve, then you'll always be in the same place. You will never grow. And we need to grow. We need to grow as human beings. Be it, do we learn through other people? It doesn't have to be learning through training. It might be that you have a mentor. It might be you have a colleague or a friend that you're learning from, and they inspire you, or they teach you new skills, or your partner, you're able to learn from them because they're in a different profession, and they come home and they talk to you about, and you're learning from them. So you're constantly learning. It doesn't have to be a specific form of learning. I learn really well from podcasts. I do a lot of e-learning. I learn from my network. I learn, from different business entrepreneurs who are actually working, or they've actually achieved what I want to achieve, and they inspire me. So we're always learning. Learning doesn't have to have a specific form, as long as you keep increasing your knowledge and you keep growing as a human being and as an individual. Okay. So here's a quick quote from our lovely friend Oprah. And your hopes and your dreams and your vision and your goals, they're so much more than wishful thinking. Okay, they're a vision well, they are the vision that you have of yourself for the future. And your dreams are a key step in exploring who you are, what you want, and how you're going to achieve what you're going to achieve. And your career, it actually plays a big part of that. When you believe in yourself, you believe in your dreams, you can embrace what you really want, and then you can actually work towards that. Okay, your goals, your dreams, the path that you set for yourself, it will have new meaning, new direction. You will be able to explore new and interesting paths. You'll be able to inspire others, and you will be also able to find contentment in what you do. So if you're thinking about your career now, and now is the ideal time, it's the end of the year, 2021, we're all waiting for you to arrive. We want to say goodbye to 2020. And we need to now start thinking, okay, what plans do we have? So take a day out just for yourself and sit down and make a list, make a plan, get to know yourself, learn about who you are, what you value, what you want, and recognize what your strengths are. Okay, and explore the different occupations. If you're a business owner, we know that there is a lot of uncertainty around. As a business owner, we are wearing so many different hats daily. We have to learn and do so many things, and that often makes us unemployable. But have a plan B. If you weren't doing what you're doing now, what else would you do? Where do your strengths, your interests, your skills, your qualifications, how will they take you in the direction that you want to achieve? Get ready to evaluate your career options. Okay, if you're in a job, what is the next step up for you? Always have a step up. Always have somewhere that you're progressing to, that you're growing towards, or that you're working towards. If you're a business owner, where do you want to be? If you want to if you have a vision and you want to have this huge team and you want to have these several branches, what will be your role in that? Who will you be working with? What skills will they have? What skills will you need? Because you can always find someone to undertake technical roles. But what if there's something in your business that you need? It might be leading your team that you don't feel confident in. It might be self-confidence. You want to learn how to speak in public, and that's a skill that you need to build on. So write these down, and actually in the next 12 months, set yourself goals of where you want to be. So come December 2021, what skills do you need to achieve that specific year's goals, or that specific career development skill that you need to acquire, and take action. If you focus with positive intent and you have clarity to make the right decisions for both you and your career, you will actually achieve what you need to do. And your career is so much more than a job or a business. It's actually the first step to getting the life that you want. Stop feeling guilty about what you cannot do and focus on what you can do and your own abilities to succeed. 2021 is a new year and an opportunity for you to bring your dreams to life. And I don't know, you've probably heard of this Chinese proverb before. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is now. So now is the time for you to take action and actually work towards your dreams. Okay, so I'm going to bring us back together now. Lots of food for thought there, ladies. We've got Ambreen. Ambreen, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to hand over to you and Laura. I'm going to have a quick sip of water.
Unmute there. So can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. My sometimes I get my little button stuck. So tell me, ladies, have a think. What key thing from what Zen said? I think it's everything Zen's mentioned is in fact stuff that I have been working with clients now. So I think what she's saying is absolutely 100% spot on. What key thing do you feel you would like to do in the new year? What's your key thing from what Zen was saying? Because, you know, I think that with all the COVID just proved that our life is disruptive. It's going to keep changing. So what key thing do you think you want to do for next year? Would anyone like to start?
Laura, you're on mute.
Can you hear me now? Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Would anyone like to share what key thing have they got on their agenda for the new year? Please, Jocelyn, share with us.
Okay, so just a brief kind of history. In the summer of 2018, my husband and I had a job offer over here as a vice principal of Emirates National School in Abu Dhabi. But it was a pivotal moment for us in California because at the time, our friend was also offering my husband the opportunity to work as a director of operations for a cannabis company, a startup. And so I had to choose between staying there or coming over here. And so I did. I chose to stay there with him so we could explore with our friend the cannabis opportunity to see if it was something that we wanted to do. And fast forward, then that didn't work out, and Shannon had an opportunity to come over here and work for Shamal. And so he came over in January of 2020, and then I came to visit in February, and then I was stuck here. But because of COVID, I think all of the education changed so much. And so I had some interviews, but it was right on the cusp of all the schools shutting down. And so that threw me into, okay, what am I going to do? I'm over here now, but nobody's really hiring. And if they were hiring, it was at a fraction of the salary and benefits than what it used to be. And so I started working on 15 Co again, writing more articles for the blog and things like that. And then I thought, what can I do for myself? And I thought, what would work really good for 15 Co is I started my nutrition coach certification. So I'm working on that right now, but I'm still exploring the education route also with learning A to Z. And that was a pivotal moment for me because I had never done a webinar before in my life. And I had to study the platform Learning A to Z, RAS Plus, and all their different programs that they have within their portal, vocabulary, science, etc. And give webinars to my director until they approved, okay, like she's okay, she can go and give webinars to other schools and things like that. So I have two different projections right now in my career path, but education has always been at my heart, and I would love to educate women, but I still want to be in the education realm as well. So I don't really know, because I'm still in this transition, and I feel like I'm scattered at the same time because I have this going and this going. So, so this really is going to help. I'm going to have to go back and reflect, Zen, on what you said, and really put some thought and effort into it and see where I want to go.
Very interesting. Yeah, sometimes we have to make choices that are a little different to perhaps where we thought. But it's very, as Zen said, it's very interesting to look at our holistic selves as to where our strengths are, and then think, how do we maneuver those into the right thing to build on our resources? Because we have so many things we can do. But would anyone else like to share? You know what I'm keen to do, ladies, actually? Because Zen has been really kind enough to share this with us, I would love to know Zen's key move forwards for the new year. What's your key focus, Zen, with all the ways, because you've had successful businesses over the years. You've shown yourself to be a great entrepreneur and move forwards, even though a little stuck in COVID, and your strength of positivity kind of deep dived a little bit. But the wonderful thing is it comes straight back out, and it's wonderful. What's your key thing for the new year?
So for me, for the new year, one of the things that I'm going to focus on is public speaking. I really enjoy public speaking, but I know my own areas of improvement. I know what I lack in. I know what I can build on, and I know what I'm good at as well. So that's one of the things that I'm doing. So I'm going to be joining a speaking networking group where I'll be learning from others on how to speak. So that's one of my goals for next year. Also, with one of my businesses, we're taking it on a totally different route, where we're going to be putting it online. So I've got to learn a lot about online digital marketing, etc. So that's one of the things.
Very good. Anyone else like to share key thing for next year? What would you love to do more than anything else?
Yeah, actually, when the pandemic started, I didn't realize that additionally I had a computer science degree, and it will help me out during this pandemic in bringing up some digital learning platforms and all that. But then I felt like I'm lagging behind because I did not focus on updating my computer science degree, like with the current advancements. The moment came when I had to decide which learning platform will be appropriate to choose. There I thought that I had the knowledge, I had the skill, but I didn't update. So though because of my knowledge and skill, I could differentiate which learning platform is good, but still I felt that I was lacking on this, and I really looking forward on updating towards this, not just this, whatever skills I have, as Zen said, like we have to upgrade it. Learning never ends. We feel that we know, but we do not. We have to keep on getting trained, and we have to take all those trainings. I may be the best health and safety officer, but the trainings which are provided currently keeps us up to date. This is what I realized, and I'm keenly focused on perceiving all these in future.
Very good. Because you're quite right. You know, the world keeps moving. If we stop learning, we're not going to move forwards with it, and then we're going to be stuck. So we have to. It's just choosing and making sure that we're actually aligned with what is, you know, what we need for ourselves, because everyone's learning is going to be different because everyone is unique. I think, Gislan, did you have something to share about your key thing for next year?
Yes, definitely. I want to say actually to continue, following my dream, and learning more about my mind, because this is something that my inner self. And for me, it's taking training on online. Now everything is about online shopping and everything. And even though we have people who are working on the things, you better know what they are doing. So for me, it's taking some kind of training, understanding more social media, understanding the websites. So I can. Yeah, this is a skill that I'm a little bit missing right now, because myself, I'm not really good in social media and all. So I want to take a time in January and take some kind of little course, let's say, to improve myself on that.
Thank you, Gislan. And I think with that as well, we don't have to be experts, but we have to have a good knowledge. This is it.
Yes,
so you
just
don't
the
have
knowledge.
To, yeah,
yes,
you don't have to know
exactly.
how to build. Like, I know all the back end of my website. I can go in, and if I need to do basic edits, if my website goes down, I know how to fix it. And that's something that I've educated myself on, or newsletters or anything to do with my business. I know how to do it, but I have staff who do it because I don't have time to do it. However, if I need to step in, I'm multi-skilled, so I can actually do that. And after my husband looks at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, yeah, I'm editing my website from the back. And it looks really complicated, but because I know how to do these things, don't get me wrong, I can't do anything major. I can't like do anything complicated on there, but basic edits I'm able to do. And that's something that I've picked up just from different trainings online and learning how to do it out of necessity, rather than, something that I desired to do.
Can I add to that on the other side and say also is for people, because I listen to this, think, wow, fantastic. And I said, oh, yes, I'm going to be doing all these things as well, because this is what I do. And I have very quickly learnt for myself that, you know what, if we have a non-talent in an area, you can learn some of it and you can be pretty good. You can become competent. You'll never be an expert, but you can be competent. But if it's something that you really can't do, it's not a matter of saying, I'm going to keep trying and trying, because you also, for me, I've learned that there are some things that I can do that take me 4 or 5 hours to do, where somebody else who's really good at them can do them in half an hour. So what I've learned is to say, is this really a good use of my time? And there are some things, social media getting better, but digital challenges me. So what I have done is learn where I can't do it and who can help me, who can I rely on to get these things done. And I think that's also important in learning, is to complement. If you can't do it, don't panic. There are people who can, and to recognize where you're really good, do that. Where you're not, get the help. I mean, honestly, I've learned so much since I've just set up, a lot of it from Zen, God bless her. But there's a lot of things that I think that we have to recognize. It doesn't matter if we can't do, focus on what we really are great at, and then get help with the rest.
And I agree with that, Laura. And it's about also, I often I read many books, and one of the books I'm reading at the moment is Good to Great. And it talks about, okay, when you're building, you're working towards a great company, you need to have the right people, and identifying the right people now, for that will fit into that puzzle as you grow, it is a really good place to be. So yes, bring in the expertise. If you can't afford to pay someone who's, I don't know, spectacular at this particular role, then employ somebody who can do the job, and have that person in mind, in the future, who you will employ or you will bring on board to actually grow your company and get it to where it needs to be. Yep. We've got Mandy.
Mandy, were you saying something?
Oh, we've got Haifa. Sorry, Haifa's got a hand up. So Haifa, can we hand over to you and then over to Mandy? Sorry, Mandy.
Yes, sure. Sorry. It's just about how the pandemic taught us that we can pivot and adjust easily. And it's not the vision, or not, let's say not the vision, but it's not how we thought everything is supposed to be done is the only way. We discovered that there are so many ways, and we can always like pivot and change our business model to adapt to the new. As you all have been saying, learning does never stop, and we can always adapt and learn new ways of doing things. And it's always turning out to be for the best. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you,
Who else?
Haifa.
Hassan,
Mandy?
Mandy.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that when I had a total sort of 360-degree turn from my last career to what I'm doing now, it was, I would say, a shock to the system, because this isn't something that I never thought that I would get into. But even though I'm a certified makeup artist and people think, oh, she's just a makeup artist, there's constant learning that's entailed with it. And now that we are trying to get our business up and going, there's even more to just the makeup artist that I'm learning. It's doing everything to get our business out there on social media. So it's learning everything online. It's learning how to get ourselves noticed. One of the goals that I've actually got here is to grow and to be known. And the only way that we can really do that is just pushing ourselves out there online, social media, whatever the case is, just letting people understand and know about Pixel Roses. It's just a two-man band at the moment. We don't have any support or help or anything outside of our business. We're both learning. So now I'm even learning how to do the photography side of things. So heaven forbid, if anything happens to Alan, I can at least help and continue with that side of things. But it is constantly learning online. And it's not just about being a makeup artist. It's about the business. How do we grow the business as a whole? It's not just about me. It's not just about Alan. It's our business and how to get it out there, to get your name out. And it's just doing everything online. I think with COVID-19 has actually helped me specifically to focus online, because everybody's doing everything online now. So get out there, start learning, learn different things about around your business. You know, have little branches that come off of your main tree if you want, and this is going to help the tree grow. That's the way that I see it.
And that's a lovely way of putting it. I like that, Mandy, how you put that. Have the branches of the tree. One of the things, I mean, I was recently at a conference for Expo, and there was a lot of students on there, university students, who were kind of lost in terms of what they, what they wanted to do, and the pandemic had really thrown them off course. And then I read an article that actually university students are the ones that struggle the most with finding happiness and contentment in life, because things, academic degrees can teach you the technical or the theory behind things, but actually there's some practical skills that you need to have. And I think this is what COVID has taught us, where we can, the resilience side of it, the being able to adapt to situations, staying positive in challenging times. And these are skills that you pick up over time. And they have to, it's the situations that you're in. So when you're having to do all this, business development and this social media and everything that you're having to learn, this is giving you additional skills that, I mean, for me, I've done all sorts of work. I sold windows at 16. I worked in a photography studio. I've worked, where else? I've got a council. I've worked with the homeless. I've worked with people in giving them jobs in the job center. I've worked in HR. I've run corporate teams. I worked in schools. So I have such, I've been a Zumba instructor, so I've got such a broad skill set. But looking at it now, everything was put in place for a reason. And all those skills that I learned from these different places, I'm actually able to use them today to my benefit. And nothing phases me when it comes to people and networking, and that's what's grown my business. And I want to hand over to Haifa actually. Haifa, you've upscaled and you've grown your business. How did you do it, and what skills did you need to acquire along the way to get you to where you need to be today? Haifa, are you there? Oops, Haifa's disappeared.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Haifa, over
sorry.
to you. Yes. So what skills did you acquire along the way to grow your business?
Oh, so many. When I decided to launch the business, I went through a mini MBA, like to cover all the aspect of business in terms of finance, marketing, accounting, and digital, and all the operation aspect of the business. So I had to try to visualize it before starting, and like, of course, when you start you learn so many different things and you adjust to reality.
Yeah.
Definitely. And another thing that I want to speak about is, now we're at the end of the year, and we are in control of how we know when 2020 was. I was at the Burj Khalifa, and then on New Year's Eve really wanted to bring 2020 in with a bang, and then obviously COVID hit. But we, what it's taught us is that we can still look forward to things, even though things will change, and the new normal might be very different to what we know. We can actually adapt to the situation. We can actually still grow in terms of our careers, in our professions, in our businesses, even though we're faced with many challenges. So something for you to think about for the next year is start early on, start before the new year hits. We've got 2 weeks. Okay, plan now for the next year, and don't let anything stop you from achieving those goals. We know we've overcome so many challenges this year. We're tired. We're so tired and exhausted of COVID now. It's been such a difficult time, but let's plan now for what we will achieve in the next year and make sure those goals happen no matter what. Don't let anything faze you. Don't let anything bring you down or make you feel as if you can't achieve. Make sure that whatever you've written on those goals is achievable for you, first of all. But secondly, that you make sure that it happens, because you are in control of that. And anything external, that's stopping you, that's a barrier, make sure that you overcome that barrier. And anything that's internal, that's something that you also have to deal with, but don't let that hold you back, because you can control what's internal. External, you might not be able to control that. So anything that's coming from you internally, you can actually overcome and deal with yourself. But don't let any challenges stop you achieve. I always say, believe and you will achieve. And I think going into 2021, we need to make sure that what we want to happen actually happens, and that we're able to achieve our dreams and what we envision for ourselves. Yep. And next year we've got so many sessions planned for you guys. We've got things on financial planning. We've got goal setting. I think we've got a lawyer that's coming in, Taslim, who's going to be speaking about actually having a plan in place, for a difficult situation, in terms of having your will in place, having the financial plans and everything available to hand if anything was to go wrong when you're living internationally or abroad. And if you have any particular sessions that you would like us to run, or you have a specific topic that you would like to speak about, do reach out to Laura and I, and we'll be happy to schedule it into the next year's sessions.
If I may add on that, I'm hoping in the new year, when we set up, we've just got to, obviously Zen and I sort of plan what fits in when with everybody. I would like to do one on strengths for everybody, just to connect you into, you know, what you need to consider for your own personal development, you know, how best to align yourself moving forwards as well. Okay, so I'd like to do that in the new year.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. And that's great. Do you ladies have any other questions on career development, or are we ready to go on raring to face the world and face the challenges and do what we need to do?
I want to ask actually, ladies, I mean, I don't know if, for example, next year you will be considering to have the meeting live, like we can do, we can meet in any place, you know, and there, of course, we definitely will take care as well of the expenses of the room, breakfast, whatever. I think we are all ready to meet face to face, and will be really a so powerful women, you know, in power, and starting in January with this kind of vibes will be really great. So
yeah,
I have
if you
I have to say agree.
on that, please tell me. I would love to help.
Wonderful.
I think to be honest with you, this is something I know we've all been doing a lot of online and everything's been very focused online. But I think as much as there is, and there's a lot we can be doing online, people also are saying, oh my God, I need to feel the people around me. I need to feel the energy of actually connecting, even if we're carefully, you know, placed around, socially distanced. I think it's time, ladies. We need to get that power of all being together. So I think for the new year, that is something definitely we want to try and include in that. 100%.
Definitely.
And I've got some great activities that I'd love to be able to run, which I can't do online. So a bit of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, great. I think it will be, I think that is the way forward, and that's what me and Laura were talking about previously as well. And definitely I think for January we'll start hosting our live sessions and bringing the community together. We've all connected great on online and on Zoom, but it is time to actually meet you all face to face and have that
share
personal
coffee.
touch.
Share coffee outside of a vague meeting one. Yes.
Yeah. We can have a 5-star breakfast or something like that, treat ourselves. And I think that would be the way forward, and that is the way that we're going to grow the community. And I think both Laura and I agree on that going forward as well. Okay, all right, I'm just going to share my screen. That makes me quite sad. It's the last one of 2020. So, okay, over to you, Laura.
Okay, so just to say that obviously, you know, I felt that how Zen's finished this particular one this week is brilliant, because we do need to think ahead. From a perspective of what I do in terms of resilience and strengths, I'd just like to say to you, you know, think about how you want your development to go for the new year. What is it? How well do you know what you're great at? Do you know how you want to develop in line with your strengths? Have you thought about perhaps some of the COVID has taught us about some of the things that we're good at and some of the things where we feel really challenged personally, if not necessarily through getting people in. But so if anyone wants to kind of regroup or think about what they might need to put in place moving forwards, to think about where key potential areas are, and would like thoughts on how to sort of align or plan your personal development and professional development, then please feel free to reach out. It's what I'm doing with a lot of clients right now, and I'd be happy to make some suggestions to you or help you think about that if you'd like to. Okay. I also hope that in the new year, I hope my book will be finished, and I would love to share it with you girls. So all good things, please reach out anytime. So to Zen.
Wonderful, thank you, Laura. And yes, with me, I mean, you all know we provide e-learning qualifications. We have a range of different trainings on there that you can undertake flexibly. Me personally, I'm happy to have a chat with you and talk about where you want to be in terms of your career and how we can help and support you in getting there. ZEN PD will be offering, a lot more training courses than we have, and specifically for business owners and the business sector. We'll be introducing some new courses in 2021. So if you want to know more about that, reach out and let's have a chat. Here are some of the courses that we offer at the moment. There's There's generic courses such as things like customer service, there's leadership, there's health and safety officer, you know, there's things like stress management, well-being. We have a range of different courses. So please, if there's anything that tickles your fancy or is on your goals list, do let me know, and we're happy to support with that. Here are our contact details, and I'm going to hand over to the social media handles. We do often post, and we will be sharing some information from the session. Do comment and share with your community as well, and let's grow our community and help other women thrive. It's one of our goals to make sure that we support not only our community that's in Dubai, but internationally, that we're able to support women as well. So please do share with your network. And thank you for joining us today. It's been an amazing 2020 with you all. The sessions actually started, you know, to help. We actually wanted to help others during these challenging times. I think it got me and Laura through these struggles, and built such a great community, and it's wonderful getting to know you all, and it's wonderful to have you as part of our community, and we look forward to supporting you all in 2021 and helping you achieve your dreams.
Amazing. Have a really great end of the year, everybody. And we absolutely look forward to new energy and excitement for the new year. Lots of things planned. Do share with us, ladies, if you've got thoughts of things that you would like, that you think would help you thrive. Do let us know, so we can get planning on the calendars for the new year, and hopefully do some live sessions now, and yeah, feel the kind of girl power.
Yes. Happy New Year, and for those who are celebrating, Merry Christmas as well. Take care.
To you
See you soon.
Have a good one.
Bye. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Zen. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.